is my audience. Her name is Taylor. Have you ever thought to yourself, oh my gosh, this person is literally gonna die before my eyes? The phrase, do you need the Heimlich, repeats in my brain as I think back onto the day I saved my friend from choking. It was a normal day at school. The third period bell rang and I headed my way up to the slushy shop, which was run by members of the Student Government Association at North Jackson High School. Third period was the busiest for the shop because we had a 15-minute break in our schedule. This meant we needed 4 members of SGA instead of 2. In our group, we had Taylor, Carter, Sam, and myself. Also on this particular day, we introduced a new candy, which was Nerds. And we had everyone's favorite slushie, Blueberry. This duo was a hot commodity, probably sold about 15 cups in it in those 15 minutes, which was a lot for our little business. So everybody was saying things like, this is just like Sonic, why haven't you always sold this? We got free slushies in there, so we were like, we're gonna try it out. At first, everything was fine. We were gossiping, talking about TikTok, making jokes about football to Carter, the usual stuff. Sam got up to fill another machine of Blueberry, and Taylor started telling me a story. She took a couple of sips of her slushie, and a nerd went down the wrong pipe in her throat. She started coughing, and I thought she was all right, that she was recovering. However, she did not, and she projectile vomited, not once, but twice, all over the floor. My mother is a nurse, and she's always told me, if you can make noises, you're not choking. So Taylor was making, have you ever seen that TikTok? And it's that dog trying to vomit in the water. She's making noises like that, so I wasn't real worried. But when I started to get worried is when her face turned blue, her arms are straight out like this, and she wasn't making any noises. I looked over at Sam. I was like, is she choking? Like, what do we need to do? And Sam was ghost white, didn't say a word. I looked over at Carter, and he was looking towards the floor because of the vomit. My brain finally kicked in, and I yelled to her, do you need the Heimlich? Of course, Taylor didn't respond because, she was choking. So I got up, and I went and wrapped my arms around her, put them where you would for the Heimlich, and I squeezed real hard. And she puked again. So I was praying, please, dear Lord, please don't let there be puke on me. And I was like, are you okay? And she was like, I can breathe now. And I was like, all right, she's fine. So I run down to the office like a crazy person, and I hit the intercom button, and I try to say very calmly, Poochie, please come to the office. Poochie was our janitor. The office aides were like, what's wrong with you? What's happening? What's going on in the slushy shop? You look like you just witnessed a murder. And I started busting out laughing, and I was like, Taylor choked to death. And they were like, what? Taylor choked. And then I started boo-hoo crying. I don't know if this mix of emotions was from the adrenaline rush I'd felt, or because I don't know how to do the Heimlich correctly, and I just had to do it to save somebody's life. Anyways, I pulled myself together, and I went back up to the slushy shop to check on her. Carter was giving her some water, babying her, make sure everything was all right. Sam got a cool rag for her neck, and we just had to take a minute because that was dramatic. We were waiting on the janitors to come. They never came. So then guess what we had to do after I had to save her life? We had to clean the vomit out of the floor. And you know what was in the vomit? Some Nerds and her breakfast she ate that morning, a Jack's biscuit. So I think saving a life and then cleaning up the puke is a true form of heroism. It was really traumatic, it really was, but we can laugh about it today. And I'll tell you what though, I cannot drink slushies anymore, especially if they're blue ones. Thank you.
Yay!